Shalom. This is Arayah, your boy Arayah. My Akim like to call me Arayah Ben Yam Yam. They say I'm Ben Yam Yam. I roll with it. But this is your Arayah Ben Yahweh, saying Shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel, scattered abroad, all the continents over the earth. I want to give all praises to Yahweh and his son, Hashem, Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. Basically, just want to go over Romans chapter 12. And I'm going to just start reading. I got a couple precepts I'll go ahead and add into it. But let's go ahead and start. Romans chapter 12. I'm going to start at verse 3. And it says, let me just go ahead and start from the top. Romans chapter 12. It says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. So this is our reasonable service, offering up our bodies, our time, going out in the streets, reaching our people. That's a part of the reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world. So again, we know that we're holy and separate, which means that we're separate from the world. So that's exactly what this verse is getting into, verse 2. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So we got to be not conformed to this world. So you got people that are stuck on how they're going to eat, where they're going to get the next car they're going to get, what's going on this weekend, things like that. We have a lot of distractions going on, with the police force, and then, our people being mistreated. Again, we have to separate ourselves from that. And that's why we're going to keep going into this. We have to show and prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Okay. Verse 3. For I say, though the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. So basically, in your head, you puffed yourself up with all this knowledge and information. The Most High is saying, let unto every man that is among you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, right? And I got a precept with that. It's 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And this is, I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, know ye not that ye are the temple of God, that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy, for the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. So it's confirmation that God's telling us we're his temple. We're already made in his image. So now he's given us more information of how special and personal we are to him. Verse 18, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seem to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And that goes back to Romans chapter 12 and verse 3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. And I'm going to just continue. For we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. So once again, we have to understand that One camp over here is not all Israel, nor this camp over here on the West Coast is all Israel. We have to understand that there are many offices in this body, and we have to facilitate this and execute order, and then that way we can present this perfect will of God and actually be effective while doing it. Verse 5, this is Romans 12:5. So we being many are one body in Christ, and everyone members one of another. Verse 6, having then gifts of differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the portion of faith, or ministry, let us wait on our ministry, or he that teacheth on teaching. So again, ministry, teaching, and prophecy. So we got brothers amongst us that are profound in these areas, and this is why when we all come together, it makes their body work. You know, I can't tell my eye I don't need it. You know what I mean? Well, if I turn to the right, my right eye is gone. So now my left eye is going to be doing all the work because my left told the right eye he don't need it no more. So when I make a right turn, it's going to be difficult for me to look over to my right. So this is why all the components of the body is very important. And I'm going to go ahead and keep reading. And this is verse 7. I'll start verse 7. Or ministry. Let us wait on our ministering, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. And this is all is going into the law. You know, if we understand what the law is, you know, the Most High gave us a law in order to behave and act amongst our brothers. This is exactly what is breaking down. And this is verse 9, which is going into the two greatest commandments that the Most High, the Hamashiach, hung all the law upon, the greatest two. Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Now, if you guys don't understand, verse 9 says abhor, which is to hate, which is evil. So we're getting a clear commandment here to abhor which is evil and cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affectioned to one another with brotherly love and honor, preferring one another. Okay? Not slothful in business. Let's go. Fervent in spirit. Fervent, like active. We're very active. Serving the Lord. So we got to be active when we're serving the Most High. Rejoicing in hope. Patient in tribulation. Now, I know a lot of brothers that are going through this tribulation right now. We're going through some persecutions right now, whether it be economically, whether it be, you know, financially, whether it be family, anything. We're going through it. And I'm witnessing it. I've been going through it myself. So verse 12 again, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. So this is another thing I want to point out too, is prayer. We got to constantly stay in prayer. I know I meditate a lot, but I guess I have to know how to separate the two, because sometimes I think, you know, meditating, I'm in prayer, which a lot of times I am, but I think I need to separate those two times more and just really, really focus on prayer and meditation, not trying to combine them and say, oh, well, I pray while I meditate, or I pray while I meditate while I pray. Verse 13, Romans 12:13, distributing to the necessity of the saints, given to hospitality. So we got to make sure that this word and this information that we're giving is being distributed evenly. We have to edify the saints, right? Verse 14, bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not. So everyone that comes against us and calls us those black Hebrew Israelites, barakatah. May the Most High bless you. Because as much as we want to chew your head off, we can't. So may Yah bless you. May Yah bless you. All right. In verse 15, rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. See, so this is the thing about community, right? So a lot of my brothers, man, like, you know, I try to get You try to get Israel to understand, hey, let's get involved with the community, whether they may not be Israelites or not. When they see us walking just simply with beards and fringes, they're going to acknowledge us, right? So this is why we rejoice with those that rejoice. Or when we have rejoices in our communities, excuse me, Slakia, rejoice with them. When our people are getting slain in the streets, you know, and these loved ones that they have, our people getting their hands, getting hands put on them, we need to go ahead and weep with them and show them that we have that compassion, that we can be that humility with the people of our community. Verse 16, be of the same mind one toward another, right, Akim? Mind not the high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. So if you have a brother that can't take the meat that you're giving them, and you're cutting up this good meat, you're a chef, you already got it tenderized, and you know you flipping it over, and you doing all this, and you cutting it up, and then you giving it to him, and you already know what the ingredients is, and you're giving it to him like, hey, take this, and you see him chewing on it, and he's like choking on it. You need to pull it back from a spiritual aspect. You need to pull it back and give him some milk. Maybe put a little bit more formula in it, thicken it up for him. So, hey, shake it up real good. Like, hey, next week we're going to get you on this meat. You see what I mean? So now we're going to go to verse 17, Romans 12 and 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. There was a situation where it almost got that way. You know, we're in camp and, you know, we cry aloud and we don't spare any emotions, right? So it can cause people to get really defensive and try to provoke us to match them with the evil and wickedness in their minds and in their hearts. So we, as being men of valor, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. So never fight evil with evil. Now, if you're provoked and you're touched, hey, you got to protect and defend yourself. All right? Because verse 18 is going to tell you, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men, if it be possible. So that's prime example, all right? And then we're going to go to verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. Verse 20, therefore, if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. So by us spreading this word, we know that there's only one that's good. So the only thing we can do to show people what's good is follow who is the only one that is good. Follow and keep his commandments. I don't want to go out too long on that, so I just want to end it right there. It's a little short video. Probably got a couple more coming later. Just feeling a little moved to kind of just get out and reach out. But with that being said, I want to say shalom to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered across the four corners of the earth, the four winds of the earth. And then I want to say barakatah. Stay tuned to the page of Sons of Jacob, because we're going through refinery and we're being tried, but we're not giving up. So with that being said, when we come back, we're going to come back stronger. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to give a shout out to all the Israelites, man. All of Israel, all the Israelite brothers that's out here putting in this work. You know, I want to say barakatah. All praises to Yahweh, and his only begotten son, Hamashiach, Yahushua. Shalom. All praises.